listeners, and welcome to another episode for the Thought Portal Season 2. The topic that is going to be discussed today is mindfulness and meditation. Let's see what the students have to say about it. Enjoy.
Good morning, everyone. Hello and welcome to the second season of the Thought Portal. The topic for today's discussion is mindfulness and meditation, and we have along with us a guest from Jain BBA Degree College, Miss Vaishnavi Lopur. Hope you are excited to join us for today's podcast.
I'm truly excited and thank you so much for inviting me. It's truly an honor. Thank you.
So the topic basically speaks about mindfulness and meditation. So I would like to start with a quote which says that distraction is everywhere. We just have to note it where our attention goes. We have to address it and then acknowledge it and let it go.
Yeah.
Because beautiful things and brilliant ideas comes from a mind which is very calm and positive.
True.
Yeah. So I would like to start with a question that what do you mean by mindfulness and why it is important to talk on this topic in today's generation or in today's world?
Yes. I think this topic is very essential to talk about because in today's fast-paced generation, people have a lot of stress and pressure on them. So in order to work peacefully and calmly and to work efficiently, I think a state of calmness is required, which comes through mindfulness. When we talk about mindfulness, it is one of the most important techniques which comes under meditation. It is something that will help you understand about what your feelings truly are. And it works two ways. First point will be attention and the second will be acceptance. Firstly, you pay attention towards your thoughts, your feelings, how you feel about certain things, good, bad, how you are, what position you are at. And once you understand and gather all the attention and thought for yourself, that's when the second step comes in, which is acceptance. As long as you don't accept, there's no improvement happening. And I think these two things play a vital role when it comes to mindfulness. And mindfulness wholly plays a very important role for a good mental health.
Okay, so this was a very nice introduction and definition of mindfulness. Also, can you brief us about the relationship between the mindfulness and the meditation? Because these two are quite similar but different concepts.
I'd say they're not very different concepts. Mindfulness is a subset which comes under meditation, right? What is meditation? Meditation is just sitting there in calmness and peace and trying to focus on one particular object. When there's no calm, when there's no peace around you, how could you concentrate on something? How could you understand what you really feel in a chaos? You really need some time, some peace for yourself, and that's when mindfulness comes in. That's how they relate.
So how it is related to students and why it is beneficial to students, as there are some advantages that I hope you are going to speak about in further lines. Yeah, so why it is important for the students basically?
See, when it comes to students, there are n number of pressures nowadays. With this generation, there's a lot of peer pressure, be it academics, be it there's one thing that we see that when students are in their teenagers, we see a lot of drift in the relationships, in their personal lives as well, with their parents, with their siblings. There are a lot of pressures, be it academics, be it the relationships-wise, and be it co-curricular-wise or whatsoever. So I think having a state where you know how to feel peaceful about yourself and how to work on yourself, that is very important. Because if you're in a pressure, you spoil your mental health. And when your mental health is spoiled, I don't think anything can go right in your life. You're going to jeopardize everything, be it your relationships. Most importantly, you're going to jeopardize your health. And without a good health, I don't think anybody could do anything. So it is very important to inculcate this practice.
It's very true. Do you have any experience about this where you have felt very downtrained in your life and because of meditations, you helped to come up from that?
Yes, of course. I think everybody has a downfall and I've had my equal share of it too. So there was a time when I had a lot of pressure because I just had dropped out a course and there were a lot of people talking. There were a lot of, when my parents really trusted me on that decision, when I said I want to drop out, they just said yes. And that was even more pressurizing for me because when I had to start something new, I had to prove it to them that when they trust me, that was right. Right? That is one type of pressure you also have to prove something and to give your parents the right way. So I think I was very chaotic. I had nothing. I had so many thoughts. I was not decisive. I was mentally very disturbed. And the only thing that helped me was meditating, because it really made me understand who truly am I and what is my personality. It developed my personality in a way where, I could never expect. I could never see myself sitting and talking today if it wasn't for me going through that process. So I can say it plays a vital role in developing you as a person and developing your skills. It enhances your skills for sure. And that is one thing that I would say.
Yes, it can be seen from your speech and your confidence today. And
thank you.
Yes. Also, there are some general benefits from the meditation and the mindfulness that we can see, that is improving the concentration, reducing the stress level, maintaining the blood pressure, and
Also, the sleep issues, like if you have if you have insomnia, I think that helps a lot.
yes, yes, yes. Because I heard some, and I read an article where it was mentioned that a good sleep is very important. Because,
Yeah, I think a good sleep, a good meal, and a good mind, very essential to live your life and survive longer. Even if not longer, I think you'll survive a lot better, is what I'd say with these 3 habits.
yes, it just takes only 10 minutes to do a meditation or
I
mindfulness
think,
activity.
see, when it comes to that time limit, you cannot put a label onto it. I feel that 1 minute of productive mindfulness is so much better than nothing. Like, you don't need to do it for hours together. Just 1 minute, that 1 second. For example, if I had to do some work which is like stressing me out, before going up on a stage or before going up anywhere for my examinations, I close my eyes for a minute and do that 1 minute of productive breathing and the focus. I think that's enough. It'll take you long way, is what I can say.
Very true. Because I have also experienced that. I have also practiced that 1 minute of meditation. It helps a lot. It helps you to calm down from that in that chaotic situation. Okay. I also saw a video yesterday which speaks about one Harvard study which was released, which says that almost 40% of the time we lost our attention and we start thinking about our past or else about future rather than thinking about or living in the moment.
I feel it's more in the past.
Yes.
See, it's more in the past. With this generation, it's always in the past. We self to live in the past. We are simping over it. And that is one thing that, drags us down and pulls us down to a heavy level. Because if we don't know how to work on our present and we don't know how to think about the future, which is there. And that is, I think, one of the important points, overthinking. Overthinking is one of the most hyped up word, and we hear it all the time nowadays. And students do it, and I think that should be stopped. And because, it's not very healthy for you. It's not really good for you.
And also 47% is quite a big, because if we consider our entire life, then half of the life we are spending on thinking over past and future only rather than living the present.
Exactly.
And though we have some scientific proven techniques and studies about it, that how to meditate. And there are also some types of meditation. I think.
Types of meditations as well are there, which comes up to, on a beginner level, if you go, it's... first of all, you have to make it very personal. When it comes to mindfulness, you have to have it personally to you. Secondly, you have to ask the person. If you're trying to train somebody for it, you have to let them understand what they feel connected to. You have to be very personal about it. And third, there are very mantras and affirmations that you can use. There's one for which one I can mention is that I am mantra. So if I'm supposed to say I am not good enough, I can change it to I am enough.
Yes.
Right? For example, if I have to say I am not worthy, I am worthy enough. Just affirmate kar do usko, and it'll be fine. It'll be great. You will have a sense of confidence within yourself, because I think that is one of the most important things. If you don't believe in yourself, no matter, even if the billions of people in the population do, and you don't believe in yourself, you're reaching nowhere.
Yes.
Like, even if I'm the worst, I'd say I'm the best. That's something that will give me a push and give me a go.
Yes. Do we have some scientific theories or techniques about this meditation and mindfulness?
Yes, sure. One of a very famous New York-based therapist known as Mitchell Hunt, she has thoroughly studied this topic when it comes to mindfulness and meditation. And she says that she's given the statement saying that it is very important. Again, it helps you in a lot of ways. First and the most important thing, beats depression, your sleep issues, your health issues, and then builds in confidence. It gives you a new whole perspective, and there's a lot more things that it can do. And depression is a big thing, and it is a real thing. I mean, for the people who don't believe that it's, a real thing, it is a very real thing. You can feel yourself like, suffocating, and that can bring you out of that. And it's a very big thing. It plays a very vital role.
Stress and depression is quite a common thing in today's this. But we have alternatives, like few people share their stressful situations with their friends. A few start drinking. You start.
It also, mindfulness, when it comes to that, mindfulness also beats your alcoholism.
Yes.
It does. It helps you quit it, and it is very easier process.
Some people tend to get themselves busy in some kind of work. So that is forcibly they are doing on themselves.
Yes, I used to do that. I used to do that a lot. I mean, I used to take a lot of work on me because I wanted to keep my mind very busy, because I didn't want to overthink. But the only thing is that I used to do that out of pressure, or maybe, with the thing that I don't want to fall into this.
Yes.
I still take a lot of work on myself, but that is with will and with happiness. So I think that's the difference that is brought within me when it comes to meditation.
So to our listeners, we just want to tell you that starting a mindfulness or meditation is quite easy, but continuously following it and maintaining that consistency is very important, because it will give you the results in the long run. Okay, I hope this discussion will be helpful to our listeners, to our juniors and the other public who are listening to us. Thank you, Vaishnavi, for joining with us for this discussion.
Thank you. On the last note, I would like to say that mindfulness is not a luxury, but it definitely is a necessity in today's fast-paced world. And I hope each one of you all who's listening, we've helped you all in a way, and you all start practicing it because it's really healthy. Thank you so much for having me. It was a great talk.
Yes, thank you.
I hope you enjoyed listening to this podcast today. आशा करते हैं हम ऐसे पॉडकास्ट के साथ हमेशा आते रहेंगे और आप हमेशा हमारे साथ सुनते रहेंगे. Stay tuned.